Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Bree from With Love Bree, and today we are going to be making some of these shell embellishments. I'm going to be showing you guys how you can create your own template so that way you can have a template at home. As you can see, I use the template here. I'm just going to grab everything and get it all together so that way we can go ahead and get started. Alright you guys, so what you're going to need to make these seashells, I'm just going to use some printer paper, but if you want to use your, to make your template, if you want to use cardstock or something, you definitely can. The only reason why I'm using printer paper is because I've already made my templates. I actually have my older templates still from 2017. When I make templates, I like to put the date on them, and then I use them up until I need to make new ones. And I felt like for this tutorial I wanted to make sure I had precise measurements so that way I'm not just kind of telling you guys like kind of guessing numbers. So I did come up with one with a perfect measurement. I will be making the small and the large template. And then at the end I'm also going to create one of each, so that way you guys can see the final result, which I probably showed you guys in the beginning of the video too, but just so you guys can see how they get put together. Let's go ahead and get started. I have my printer paper here. I'm going to use some scissors, and if you have a scoring tool, I really do recommend having this because it just comes in handy. So a scoring tool, and then I have a ruler. This is the Tim Holtz centering ruler. This is my favorite tool, or one of my favorite tools, so I have that. And then those will be it for the templates for now. So we're going to go ahead and get started. What you're going to do, you're actually going to need a paper trimmer because I do cut my, you do need to cut these down to little rectangle pieces. So I have my paper trimmer here, and we're going to cut, for the small one, you're going to cut a 2 by 2.5 inch rectangle. And then for the large one, you're going to need a 3 1/4 by 4 inch piece. Okay, so again, for the small one, you need a 2 inch by 2.5 inch piece. For the larger one, you need a 3 1/4 by 4 inch piece. Alright, so we can go ahead and get rid of our paper trimmer. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and start doing some of the measuring. So half of this large one, the 3 1/4 inch one, it's going to be 1 5/8. So just remember that that's going to be 1 5/8, and then half of this one, which is going to be your 2.5 inches, it's 1 1/4. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure my measurements were correct, which they are. So your 2.5 inch mark is going to be going this way. Your 3 1/4 inch is going to go this way here. So you want to have them like this. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the ruler, and depending if you're right-handed or left-handed, just depends. This is where you're going to mark it. I just find it a lot easier if you mark it on whichever side that you cut from. So I'm going to mark, because I'm right-handed, I'm going to mark on the right side. If you're left-handed, I would mark on the left-hand side. For the larger piece here, I'm going to bring you in closer. So for this piece here, you're going to go from this edge here. For right-handers, you're going to go from this edge. You're going to put your ruler at the 3 1/4 inch mark, which is the third largest line from the 1 inch. And I'm just going to mark it. And this is just a like a marking point for us to cut to. If you're on the left-hand side, you would just line your ruler up to the edge and then mark at the 3 1/4 inch mark, like this. And you'll see why I only mark one side. Alright, and then for the 2.5 inch one, you're gonna score, for the smaller one, sorry, you're gonna score 3/8 of an inch to the inside. 3/8 of an inch is right before the 1/2 inch mark. So you guys can see here. So I'm gonna mark that. Again, if you're left-handed, and then you're gonna mark this. Okay. And then for the marking, that's all you're gonna do. So we can put the ruler away. Okay, so there are the marks. What we're gonna do to make this easier, if you're using printer paper, you don't have to score this. You can actually just fold it. But for those that like to use cardstock, I like to use cardstock for my templates because it lasts longer. You're gonna go ahead and bring it to your scoring board. Again, if you're going to be scoring and using cardstock, you're going to score at 1 5/8 because this is 1/2. So we're going to score at 1 5/8. And 1 5/8 is in between the 1/2 inch and the 3/4 inch mark. And then on the 2 1/2 inch side here, you're going to score at 1 1/4, which is in 1/2. All right. I'm going to set that aside for now. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold this. So I'm going to fold this here in 1/2. Again, if you're using printer paper, you really didn't have to do that. But for right-handers, when we cut, we're going to be cutting like this, so that's why you marked on the right-hand side, because when you fold it, it's like when you open up a card. And if you're left-handed, you'd be cutting this way, I think. I'm not sure, but it would be easier. So that's why you mark on the left-hand side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create my template. Now, the way you create this template, if you can see on here, these are my newer ones, you need it to have this angle. And to make the two sides even, that's why we fold it in 1/2. And also when you make the rosette or the seashell, you're gonna have to fold it in 1/2 anyway, so it's a step that you're already getting or taking care of. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my scissors. I start about halfway up from the bottom for the larger one, and I start curling in towards that score mark here. So I'm just going to bring this up here. I'm going to stand up so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so you're going to go halfway from the bottom, just estimate, and then just curl up going that way. And you can always change the shape afterwards, so I kind of just start slight. And you should end up with a shape like this. Again, if you don't like the shape that it comes out to be, you can always change it up. You can always start cutting more. But to be honest, after the first one, usually they turn out fine. And this template is going to last you for however long. So it's not like you're going to mess up or anything like that. So you're going to do the same thing here. I kind of start at 1/4 inch from the bottom. And I just curve my way in, and I like to round it a little bit more at the top, as you guys can see. And then you're left with this. Okay, so now that we have all that done, what we're gonna do is, this is actually the template. So I'm gonna grab some pattern papers because I'm gonna go ahead and make a couple with you guys, just so you can see how it looks. But if you want to mark your template, or if you want to write down the instructions on the back, I do that also. I like to have the instructions written. I also like to have my template, so this is how it's going to look after you score it and cut it to make the seashell. I like to put these, like this is just printer paper, this is my cardstock template, and I'll just staple these together. All right, so the one thing that you're gonna wanna mark on your paper is that you're gonna score at 1/4 inch. So, sorry, Maui is just such a brat. Okay, so the only thing that I would mark on your template is that you have to score it every 1/2 inch for the larger one and every 1/4 inch for the small one. If you want to mark, you know, either 1/4 or 1/2 inch on the larger one, pretty sure it'll work. The only thing about doing the 1/4 inch on the larger one, you're going to have a lot more ruffles, and it will be really thin. Maybe I'll try to make one, but I do stick with the 1/2 inch one. So let me go ahead and choose some pattern papers and we'll make some together. Alright you guys, so I already chose my patterns here. I'm going to go ahead and use this. These are 2 pages from the Sunny Days collection. I have a video of me creating something with this, so I'll have that linked down below. But yeah, so I'm going to just choose a spot here, and I don't even trace it. I just put my template on here and I just cut around it. So that's what I'm going to do for both of these. I'm just going to line up the bottom to the straight edge. And I like to cut the top off first because it's flat. And then I just kind of cut that. And if you hear Maui scratching on the door, sorry, I'm not going to let him in though, because he's just going to cry to go back out. And I'm going to go ahead and just cut around the template. If you feel more comfortable tracing the template and then cutting it, you can definitely do that. But I don't really mind. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and just do this one really fast. Okay, so now we have cut out our pattern papers. We're going to go ahead and create the shells. So what you're going to do is you're done with your templates. So what we're going to do is for the small one, you're going to bring back your scoring board, and I'm going to use the longer edge to put against the top, and you're going to score this at 1 1/4 because you need it in half. And then with the larger one, you're going to score at 1 5/8. And then, and then what you're going to do now is you're going to line up the largest edge here to the edge of the scoring board here. And you're going to score at every 1/4 inch. So when you score this in half, let's say it's like this. You score this in half, you're going to flip it to the left, and you're going to score at every 1/4 inch. And that's for the small one. Again, we can try to make a big one at the 1/4 inch and see how it turns out. And then for the larger one, again, if you score it in half, and then you flip it, you're going to score it at every 1/2 inch. Okay, so now they're scored and they look like this. You guys can see. Alright, so now we're going to fold. So the way that I do this is I will fold this in half. And I'll crease it. You want these to be as creased as much as you can, because you'll be folding these and you don't want it to be too hard, especially with pattern paper. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do, so mountain fold is going downward. So you're going to do a mountain fold and then switch on and off, just like making a rosette. You do valley, mountain, and so on. And you're going to do the same thing for the larger one too. Okay, so now you're left with pieces like this. And what you're gonna do, your smaller end here is gonna be on the outside. So when you fold this, you're gonna fold with your larger piece going on the inside. So you're gonna pinch it going like this. So you can see it's already forming. But the thing is if you fold it like this, you'll see the hot glue And that is what I did before I changed my measurements. But I learned that what you can do to change that so that way it looks clean, you're gonna cut one of these rectangles, so just this one, and I'm gonna go, so you're gonna cut up until the first score line, right? So it goes like this. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go just a little bit more, so like about an eighth, like maybe 1/4 of an inch, eighth to 1/4 of an inch past that score line. Then I'm gonna cut at an angle and miter that edge, and it's gonna look like this now. Again, you're gonna do that on your longer side. So we're gonna do that again here. I'm gonna cut this a little past the score line and then miter it. Alright, so it looks like this. Don't mind this nail, I was picking at it because I messed up. Okay, so that's how that looks. And this one here. And now we're gonna go ahead and start gluing. So when you glue, you can use a hot glue gun if you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, I don't suggest doing it. Just use regular, like, adhesive, liquid adhesive. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put hot glue on the inside piece right here. Oops. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna put that inner piece on this piece here. So this is, I don't suggest the hot glue for those that are sensitive with the heat. I'm not, so that's why I use it. I'll use regular glue for this small one though. You're just gonna pinch it, and there is your seashell. You just want to fan it out a little bit. But there is our large one, and this is the chunkier one. I love this one. Super cute. So that's how that one's gonna look. And then with this one, so I can show you, I'm gonna use my Barely Arts glue. And I'm just gonna put some glue on the inside, or the outside of this. I don't know, would you call that the inside? But yeah, you put glue there. And then when you fold it, this flap that we mitered, we're gonna tuck it in to here. So if you want to use glue, wet glue, so that way it doesn't dry up on you, you can. And I'm just gonna pinch it until it dries up. That's the only reason why I like my hot glue, is because it'll dry right away. Okay, so I'm just gonna pinch it, and then there's the thinner, smaller one. So I'll show you the difference. They look like little fans. So they look like that. And then we'll try to do a 1/4 inch one. So I'm gonna grab my template. We'll use the one that we made today. And let me grab another pattern paper. Okay, so we'll use this watermelon paper. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Gonna square this at 1 5/8. And this time we're gonna score it every 1/4 of an inch instead of a half. Alright, so now there's all of those. And again, you're gonna do mountain valley folds. the score line, about a quarter, eighth of an inch, mine to the top or the edge. And yeah, this is gonna be chunky. I like to pinch it a little bit. I'm just gonna use my hot glue. And tuck that in. I just feel like this bottom part here is very scrunched up, but it's okay. Yeah, it's a little too much because now this part is gonna flare out. What you can do is shorten your measurement. I would shorten the measurement a little bit, and then it'll work. Let's see how much. I'll probably make a template for this one too. Let's see how it lines up with the other one. So yeah, this one, it works, but you would have to change your measurement. So I'll just let you know now. When you make your template for the 1/4 inch one, instead of cutting this to 4 inches, you cut it at 2.5, and you should be fine to make this 1/4 inch. If you guys try it, tell me. I'm gonna make one right now and see if that matches up. If I can get a video in, just letting you guys know it does work out, then I will. But I'm gonna do it off camera and then just let you know if that measurement works. Okay, so it does work, and it looks actually really nice. I think it's the way that I cut it though, because as you can see, they're a little bit different. So it really just depends on how much of an angle you put on your cut, but they definitely do work. So you can definitely do a 3 or a 1/4 inch score on them. You would just have to cut your paper down to 2.5. So I'm gonna make a template for this one. But yeah, so with the seashells, you can add like bottoms to it. I'll go ahead and give you the measurements for it and show you what I mean by that. Alright you guys, so I'm not gonna make a measurement for this one, just for this one right here. These 3. This is my large, medium, and small. Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, this is my large, medium, and small one. So you can make them as large as you want. You just need to make sure that it's 1/2 inch wide, because you want it to match up with the shell. So mine is 1.5 inches by 1/2 inch. And then what I do is I like to create like a little angle. So I go up to this here. Doesn't matter how far in. And again, I don't measure. It's up to you if you want to measure. But it looks like this. I'm going to do that for each of these. Oops, did that one wrong. And I like the longest piece to be in the back. So I flip those, and then I add hot glue to the bottom of the shell. And then I just line this up. Just like this. You can see. So it looks like a shell. Alright, so there's the small one. And here's the large one and the medium-sized one. Alright, so those are the shells. I hope that this tutorial wasn't too complicated. I hope that you guys are able to make some of your own. I always have fun making these. The last time I made these was like in 2017, so it's been a while. But they definitely turn out super cute. I feel like they're really fun. Rosettes are are in right now. I feel like that's like the best embellishment for some dimension. And so yeah, definitely try them out. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you're interested in my Instagram, I'll have that link down below as well. I hope you guys have a great day, whatever day it is you guys are watching this, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.